But again,
is the small marginal decisions at the right time, getting it right and making a difference in races, so hopefully it's something that he can overcome.
A little bit of late money for Whirl, the Musadora winner. 1 or 2 just getting a little restless in the stalls. Go Boots is back, and so Ryan Moore on Minnie Hauk. Can she or Giselle or Whirl make it 10 Oaks for Aidan O'Brien, or will Desert Flower remain unbeaten for a confident Charlie Appleby and William Buick? The Betfred Oaks to be called by Simon Holtz.
They're set and they're off. For the 2025 Betfred Oaks, and Whirl is pushed forward towards the outside. Minnie Hauk also going forward under Ryan Moore. So Aidan O'Brien 1 and 2, along with We Might Take a Long Way in the front trio. Back in fourth is the favourite Desert Flower in the all blue jacket. Killing Queen is in fifth. Then El Wateen. Back in the field to Giselle and Revoir, and Go Boots is the back marker as they head up the steep climb towards the 7 furlong marker, far off yet, and it's Whirl that's gone clear, 3 or 4 lengths clear of Minnie Hauk in second place. We Might Take the Long Way in third. Desert Flower, her stamina's really going to be tested here. On the inside is El Wateen from Killing Queen, then Giselle and Revoir, and finally Go Boots at the back of the field, and must be a dozen lengths behind this leader, Whirl. Whirl not taking too many prisoners, still climbing, leads by 2.5 lengths to stable companion Minnie Hauk. Desert Flower, the unbeaten favourite on the inside in the all blue jacket, William Buick. We Might Take the Long Way just outside her. They're followed then by El Wateen to the inside of Killing Queen. Further back Giselle and Revoir, and Go Boots. They've done the climbing, they're now running downhill on the run down towards Tattenham Corner. And Whirl has made it all so far. Tracked in second by Minnie Hauk. In third, We Might Take the Long Way. Then Desert Flower, the Guineas winner, back in fourth place. Followed then by Killing Queen, El Wateen, Revoir to the outside in the dark green. The shades of green then of Giselle. And still last is Go Boots as they run down the hill now towards Tattenham Corner with about a half mile left to cover in the Betfred Oaks. They swing for home and Whirl leads the way. Tracked through by stable companion Minnie Hauk. Whirl and Wayne Lorden, Minnie Hauk and Ryan Moore. Now William Buick is asking Desert Flower to try and go with them. We Might Take the Long Ways on the outside. Wider still is El Wateen. Desert Flower shifting off the rail under pressure now. On the outside, Killing Queen. Revoir is running on well as Minnie Hauk draws up alongside Whirl. Chased by We Might Take the Long Way, and Desert Flower inside the 2. Revoir is out wide, and Minnie Hauk just goes on into the lead from Whirl. These two battling it out. We Might Take the Long Way, and then Desert Flower, who needs to find a lot more as they race inside the final furlong. Minnie Hauk on the near side of Whirl. Minnie Hauk near side, Whirl far side. Minnie Hauk a nose in front of Whirl. Whirl won't go down without a battle, but it's Minnie Hauk. Minnie Hauk wins the Oaks. Minnie Hauk for the Betfred Oaks. Narrowly from Whirl in second, Desert Flower back in third, and then behind those We Might Take the Long Way in fourth.
30 Epsom Group 1s for Aidan O'Brien. 10 Oaks to go with 10 derbies and 10 Coronation Cups. He dominates this place year in, year out, and he's had the second for good measure. Minnie Hauk wins the Oaks for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, and beats stable companion Whirl, who set out hard under Wayne Lorden, and it very nearly paid off. And the pair were clear of Desert Flower, who was never going that well, didn't appear to act on the track all that well, yet kept trying all the way to the line, and somehow her class managed to snag third for her. But it is Minnie Hauk that has won. A tough choice for Ryan Moore, about a head tough. But he got it right, and he got it right again.
He did. Credit to Wayne Lorden on Whirl. They did everything right in front, only to get run down by a very game Minnie Hauk, who was bought at the Orby sale for 1.85 million, bred by the Sangsters, is out of a sister to Kingman, and she showed here, Chris, that she could really stay, but she had to battle, because while the filly in the inside looked like she was going to be swallowed, she definitely rallied, the pair of them pulling clear the favourite.
Yeah, they've had a really good battle. The order didn't actually change amongst the front four, really, did it? Apart from Whirl and Minnie Hauk switched round, but they'd sat first and second. They finished in that order the other way around, and the third and fourth, well, they were in those positions throughout as well. But the front two have put daylight between themselves and the rest, and Minnie Hauk has stepped forward from Chester last time out when she looked to be learning, and she's taken a big jump forward once again. She's got a really smart pedigree. She cost a pretty penny, and she has justified that kind of price tag with a classic win.
However good you knew that Frankel was as a racehorse, to imagine becoming this absolute dominant stallion at Epsom over 1.5 miles was still, even though he's by Galileo, a bit of a leap of the imagination. But he's done it again. He's done it again here. Let's take a look at this race from the start. Desert Flower jumped nicely.
Absolutely, as predicted, we thought Whirl would go forward from the outside draw, and she had to use petrol up against the hill to get there. We Might Take the Long Way settles third, and Ryan Moore on Minnie Hauk. She's such a tractable filly. She was able to sit beside him. The filly the favourite was a little bit keen early on.
Yeah, and didn't get any cover.
Didn't get any cover at this part. The dog leg. William wasn't going to go behind the Ballydoyle horses either. He's going to know they were coming across.
Part of the problem with stall one. It's part of the problem with stall one. You don't get any cover in an early part of the race, and you're on the climb, so there's no cover, and you're climbing. And with her going up in trip, she has just over-raced a little bit. Whether that's the difference or not,
that's not really. She was off the bridle.
Exactly.
She looked down.
I thought the real problem for her was when they started to come down the hill round Tattenham Corner. She looked as though she wasn't going as comfortably as you would have expected from a Guineas winner. Exactly.
Yeah, she should have been travelling at that
stage. So maybe track was a little bit of the issue. On the track, just late on, I wonder whether the winner was just leaning on to the second a little bit as they were on the camber. So we'll keep an eye on that. But they went out and made it a good, even, honest test. They're not going too quick. They're in the right spot, and those in behind haven't been able to run them down. And ultimately, the order hasn't changed much, has it?
But the first four are the right four in essence. You know, you have the top three in the market there. They're not going over quick. And the front filly has shown today that she's a real strong stayer. Killen Queen hasn't managed to maintain her pace. Revoir looked like she was going to run on, and she didn't. Giselle is the only one that kind of did. Albertine disappointed, but Ryan was in pole position to pounce whenever he wanted. Unlike William Buick, who didn't come down the hill terribly well, was never really in his comfort zone, and what Charlie Appleby said to us beforehand didn't materialise because she didn't show the speed that we know she has.
No, I think track was a bit of an issue for her, wasn't it? That's where the alarm bells started to ring, and she's got ground to make up, and she's not able to make it up. She kind of holds her position in a sense, but doesn't get any closer than she was.
Yes, interesting run from Revoir in the look here, Silks the green with the white cap. She starts to unwind, doesn't she? And you're thinking she's going to get a piece of the action, but then she starts to flatten.
Yeah, she's also leaning in against the camber. Hector Crouchley sticking his right hand. She's going to her left in towards Giselle, who is running on. We Might Take the Long Way, I'd say, for Joseph O'Brien and co. They'd be very pleased with that run, but look, you can't get away from the fact that the favourites disappointed and the front two have pulled clear. This filly in front has shown a game attitude, but I can't help but feel for Whirl, given that she did the donkey work, led them a merry dance. She was the target for them to aim at, and she's gone down by a narrow margin.
Yeah, and she's been tough in defeat, hasn't she? But she's more battle-hardened, more experienced than the winner, who has managed to steadily work away and get past her. I think inside the final furlong there was a brief coming together. I don't think it's ultimately made a difference, but I think there was. They got fairly close to one another anyway, didn't they?
Ballydoyle turning the screw, which we're used to, but turning the screw perhaps even tighter than in seasons past. The front two got a little close late, but it was immaterial.
Yeah, and to be fair, it was the second